Welcome to Bitcoin News today on the 21st of August 2018. Akon could be setting up his own Citadel where people will be able to live in Africa and protect themselves and their cryptocurrency assets. That and lots more Bitcoin news and price analysis coming up. First of all, could Bitcoin be rallying ahead? We are seeing a possible repeat of price action seen in April. This article here on CoinDesk says that history has a way of repeating itself, and there was a major rally that occurred on April the 12th. So they're looking at this pattern in the Bitcoin shorts that I've been pointing out in previous videos, and I will talk to you about that in today's price analysis. So I'll leave that on the shelf for now. There's also a lot of news at the moment about ETFs. So there's a Proshares ETF that the SEC will be giving a decision on very soon. The US Securities and Exchange Commission will decide on two this week. Proshares is the 10th largest provider of ETFs. They've got two proposals in the running, both based on Bitcoin futures contracts. This impending decision comes at the heels of a more recent ruling by the SEC to delay their determination on the VanEck and SolidX ETF. The distinction between the two, a physical and a futures-backed ETF, is worth unpacking to understand the Proshares approval. So I've talked previously about what an ETF is. Basically, it is a financial instrument that can be recommended by financial advisors, whereas Bitcoin cannot because it's unregulated. So a lot of institutional investors are waiting for an ETF before they can get involved. And some ETFs are physically backed by real Bitcoin, such as the one that we're waiting for, which is from CBOE, CBOE, but others are based on futures contracts, which are not physically backed by Bitcoin. So how they work is anyone's guess, really. A bit like fiat currency, it's not based on anything but figures on a computer screen. Do we really need an ETF? Let me know what you think in the comments, because I know a lot of people say that Bitcoin doesn't even need an ETF to succeed. So let me know what you think about that in the comments. So again, this article here is about the Thursday deadline. So it is going to be this Thursday. That could mean there's going to be some change in the Bitcoin price happening on Thursday. If they deny the Proshares ETF, that could make the price of Bitcoin go down temporarily, or if it is accepted, I would imagine that would cause quite a big increase in price. But do let me know what you think in the comments. Now, the Winklevoss twins are also in the news today because their application for a ETF was rejected for the second time. So they are getting together with other big names in cryptocurrency to form a new regulatory supergroup called the Virtual Commodity Association, or VCA for short. More alphabet spaghetti to remember there. And this article on the Next Web says it wants to be the central authority for dealing with the SEC on matters of regulation and compliance. The traditional securities industry has similar committees, albeit with nobody as good looking as the Winklevoss twins. Right now, it only has 4 members, all major players in cryptocurrency exchange and brokerage. They are Bitstamp, Bitflyer, Bittrex, and Gemini, which is owned by the Winklevoss twins. So a meeting scheduled to determine guidelines for new members. Keywords in the press release are self-regulation, rules-based marketplace, fairness, transparency, risk management, and liquidity. Music to the ears of the SEC, most likely. So Again, Winklevoss twins keep being in the news. They are the first Bitcoin billionaires, and they own over 120,000 Bitcoin, worth more than 1.3 billion US dollars. That was in December, although that has dropped now with the more recent correction in price. Now on to the so-called Bitcoin Jesus, who is Roger Ver, I think his name is, or Ver. He is the guy behind Bitcoin Cash, and he claims that Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin. Some say he's a bit of a scamster or fraudster. So let's have a look at this. The controversy around Roger Ver and his promotion of Bitcoin Cash seems never-ending. Every time he pushed for the Bitcoin Cash coin over Bitcoin, he's landed up in controversy, proving that the theories and stories he's building around Bitcoin Cash is untrue. A lot of people get confused, don't they? I know that a friend of mine, he was going to get involved in investing in Bitcoin and accidentally bought Bitcoin Cash instead. Now this article saying that commercial use of Bitcoin Cash dropped to 3.7 million, and let's go down to the chart to have a look at that. So payments received by top crypto merchant processors, and you see Bitcoin Cash is a really small amount compared with Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash split from Bitcoin on August 1st, 2017, so over a year ago at the moment, and since then Ver, who is also the co-founder of Bitcoin.com, switched allegiance to Bitcoin Cash, invested in it, and overhauled his Bitcoin.com site to focus on Bitcoin Cash. The acceptance that he claims seems to be falling apart, and he's being called a scammer by many people on Reddit, for example. So let me know what you think about Bitcoin Cash in the comments as well. On to the story about Akon next. So here's Akon, and he is supposedly starting his own crypto city in Senegal in Africa, and it would trade exclusively in Akon's own digital cash currency called Akon. The US-born singer, who is of Senegalese descent, says his futuristic city will be built on a 2,000-acre land gifted to him by the President of Senegal, Macky Sall. According to its official website at acoin.io, the city will be a 5-minute drive from the West African state's new international airport. While the city project is still in development, Akon is expected to launch early July. So this article here was from June, updated more recently, I believe. But this has come up in the news today for some reason. So I must say I didn't see this when it first came out. But it's very interesting because you might have seen the other video I did about a time traveller apparently from the future, who's made a lot of accurate predictions. And one of the things that he said is that in the future, people who invested in Bitcoin will be the richest people on the planet because of all of the fiat currencies coming to an end, and Bitcoin being much more valuable. And apparently we will live in citadels. So that's why I wanted to mention this, because it's the first mention of something similar to a citadel where people will only use cryptocurrency. So do check out my other video in the top right that's all about those predictions from the time traveller. Maybe this is another sign of his predictions coming true. Who knows? On to our next story now, about Bakkt. Now, I did mention this as well in another video previously, but now the CEO behind that wants us to know more about Bakkt. What is Bakkt? It's a new blockchain and cryptocurrency project that nurtures involvement from mainstream companies such as Microsoft and Starbucks, as I mentioned before. It could inspire a great deal of institutional investment and could make things like Bitcoin ETF applications far more likely to be approved. On a market level, Bakkt isn't going to change things straight away, but in terms of institutional mainstream adoption, Bakkt does have the opportunity to bring Bitcoin to the fore through their plans to offer an institutional grade cryptocurrency exchange. And the CEO of Bakkt, Kelly Loeffler, said, "The internet, where we see this dialogue unfolding transparently, is a global network that today we take for granted. But nearly 20 years ago, when the web was in its infancy, the spark for digital assets was there. It sticks with me that back then, Nobel laureate Milton Friedman predicted that e-cash would emerge, and now we're seeing the promise of a true digital currency. Whether you're an investment manager seeking federally regulated institutional trading and security solutions, or a consumer looking for more choice in transacting, we are working to make the vision for wider application of digital assets a reality." So this will be great news for the Bitcoin price and could really skyrocket the price if we do see more mainstream adoption. And I did make a video all about this as well, so do check out that video that's in the top right now. I do believe mainstream adoption is the one thing that's really going to increase the Bitcoin price. More good news here. 7 Premier League football clubs have signed a Bitcoin advertising deal with eToro. UK-based trading platform eToro has signed an advertising deal with 7 Premier League clubs paid in Bitcoin for the first time, the parties revealed. According to various sources, UK clubs Tottenham Hotspur, Brighton and Hove Albion, Crystal Palace, Cardiff City, Leicester City Football Club, Newcastle United and Southampton announced they've signed up to host eToro ads. Blockchain and cryptocurrency integration in football stadiums and the industry will also form a focus for the partnerships. eToro so far not giving details as to the nature of the exploration. The move marks a fresh milestone for cryptocurrency integration in mainstream football. Sporadic experiments have already come from clubs elsewhere, including Turkey, where their team, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that, hired a professional player for Bitcoin in January. This is very much the first step on a long road to football fully embracing Bitcoin and the underlying blockchain technology. eToro's UK Managing Director Iqbal V. Gandham meanwhile said, quoted by The Drum, "Researcher challenges Bitcoin mining energy consumption alarmists, says debate is oversimplified." Now, I've had a lot of debates with my friends about this, so if you've got friends who claim that it uses too much electricity and that's one of their arguments for not investing, then definitely listen up to this. A clean energy expert has hit back against the common perception that high energy consumption is an Achilles heel for Bitcoin. Katrina Kelly, strategy manager at the University of Pittsburgh's Center for Energy, said that we need to shift the debate around Bitcoin mining away from energy intensivity and towards where that energy is produced and how it's generated. She said, "By talking specifically about the consumption of energy alone, many fail to understand one of the basic benefits of renewable energy systems. Energy production can increase while still maintaining a minimal impact on the environment. Not all types of energy generation are equal in their impact on the environment, nor does the world uniformly rely on the same types of generation across states and markets." Good point there, because we do know that a lot of crypto is generated using renewable energy. The companies that generate it, the companies that mine Bitcoin, want to use the cheapest sources of energy. Normally they are renewable energy sources, such as hydroelectric. And also it says here geothermal energy sources. So Kelly argues miners' power demands are nearly irrelevant to the health of the environment. While carbon density and dirty power supplies are the crux of Kelly's article, she also offers another perspective to contextualize the Bitcoin mining controversy. If mining consumed an estimated 30 terawatt hours in 2017, banking continues to consume an estimated 100 terawatts of power each year. Even if Bitcoin technology were to mature by more than 100 times its current market size, it would still equal only 2% of all energy consumption. So good news there, reassuring news, I should say. Let me know what you think about energy consumption in the comments. On to our next article here, Steve Wozniak. Apparently he's going to get involved in a blockchain project for the very first time. And you know this guy as one of the founders of Apple. So he's announced that he plans to get involved in a blockchain project in what is a first for him. The statement was made at the Chain Exchange Blockchain Conference. At the conference, he revealed in an interview that he plans to participate in a blockchain startup, and he said, "I'm involved with, very soon, my first time being involved in a blockchain company. Our approach is not like a new currency or something phony where an event will make it go up in value. It's a share of stock in a company. This company is doing investment by investors with huge track records in good investments in things like apartment buildings in Dubai." So very interesting news there. He did go on to say, "It's so independent, it's kind of like the internet when it was brand new. I was amazed at the technology behind it. I've encouraged people working in real estate avenues, types of Uber systems, everything we've got in our life, especially involving transactions. Every single one you hear about, to me, has value. A few people can see the value, which reminds me very much of the early internet days." So watch this space, I will update you on that. Do subscribe to my channel and give the video a like if you appreciate the content. Thank you for doing that. US government endorses blockchain with a $800,000 award to distributed ledger technology researchers. So again, this is the US government endorsing blockchain technology once again, legitimizing its technology basis. A software architect and developer of the Neuroscience Gateway has reportedly received over $818,000 from the US National Science Foundation in order to help fund the development of the Open Science Chain project. So this is going to be for scientific data, and the project aims to create a web-based cyber infrastructure platform built using distributed ledger technologies that allows researchers to provide metadata and verification information about their scientific datasets and update this information as the datasets change and evolve in a auditable manner. So again, another interesting application of the blockchain technology that came to us when Bitcoin was first invented. And if you are interested in how Bitcoin was invented, check out the video in the top right all about the Bitcoin creator and how it came to be. A very interesting story. 24 million Thai Bitcoin scam involves a renowned investor and TV actor. Stay tuned for this interesting story. Renowned stock exchange investor Prasit Shrijuan, I believe his name is pronounced, claimed to be a damaged party in the case of a $24 million Bitcoin scam that victimized Finnish national Arni Otava Sarimar. Now, he was recommended to invest in DNA 2002 PLC shares, a Bitcoin-related business, for its high growth potential. He brokered the deal but never managed to deliver the stock after taking the money. Now, this fraud exposes prominent names in Thailand. The cryptocurrency investment scheme in Thailand has gained international attention as the country's crime suppression division, the CSD, sought 8 arrest warrants, including 2 siblings of the famous Thai actor Jiratpisit Jaravit, who may face money laundering charges for having his bank account receive $630,000 worth of Bakkt from the scam. The 27-year-old soap actor told the authorities his elder brother was using his bank account. Prinya, the alleged mastermind, was arrested and is now on bail. Prominent investor Proshares, who is abroad but also subject to an arrest warrant, told in a press conference that he was a victim instead of a culprit. He'll be charged with fraud, according to CSD Deputy Commander, who argued that the broker took the $24 million worth of Bitcoin but never delivered the 500 million shares. So we might not know these people if we are not in Thailand. I'm sure they're very famous in Thailand if you're watching from there. But this is the second article this week about huge amounts of money where people have been scammed by selling their Bitcoin, and you have to be very, very careful because there's so many scams around buying and selling Bitcoin. I've made other videos about that. In fact, I've got a whole playlist of all of my videos about scams, so do check that out in the top right as well if you're interested in finding out more about those. South Africa's tax agency targets tax evading cryptocurrency traders. South Africa's tax agency is looking into methods for identifying tax-dodging cryptocurrency traders, the acting head of the authority has revealed. The South African Revenue Service, SARS, is studying ways to spot non-compliant cryptocurrency traders in order to investigate any scenario of failure to declare profits from investments. Now, this was said at a conference. The key thing is identifying people who are trading, because it's easy to say cryptocurrency gains must be deductible, but there is also those who lose. That's why it's important to identify the trader. A non-compliant trader would be investigated after being identified, the official remarked, pointing to a money trail by suggesting that most traders used credit cards to buy into cryptocurrencies. Kingan said that while tax authority had certain ways, without any specifics beyond looking into credit card purchases, of identifying cryptocurrency traders, it lacked an efficient, clear-cut way of combating tax evasion, since traders also engage in activity outside the country, while some transact with foreign bank accounts. So very interesting that South Africa is looking into that. Meanwhile, in India, Indian police arrest Asian chief of multi-billion crypto scheme Bitconnect. I'm sure you've all heard of that if you've been watching YouTube videos about Bitcoin for any length of time. I know that when I was getting back into Bitcoin, I've been trading Bitcoin for about five or 6 years, and when I started looking into it again more recently, all of YouTube was all about this Bitconnect, which was obviously to me a scam, a Ponzi scheme. And it's still going on now. This is in the news today. A high-ranking promoter of Bitconnect has been arrested at the Delhi airport in India for his involvement in the alleged multi-billion-dollar Ponzi scheme that blew up earlier this year. Bitconnect was touted as a multi-level marketing venture wherein a trading bot would generate revenue for investors over time. Funds would be deposited, locked for a time with no withdrawal option, and then returned with interest. Investors were also rewarded for bringing in new recruits to invest their money. The project was openly suspected of being a scam by many influencers and members of the cryptocurrency community from the outset, due to the impossibly high returns promised in the company's promotional materials, but this didn't prevent people from investing in the hopes of it being a legitimate enterprise. It was confirmed as a scam when the team shut down the BCC crypto exchange and investing platform after being served a cease and desist letter from Texas regulators, declaring an ICO shortly beforehand as a last-ditch effort to squeeze more money out of users before exit scamming with the millions already invested. Head of Asian division of Bitconnect, Divyesh Darji, was travelling from Dubai to the Indian capital on Saturday when he was arrested following an investigation by India's Criminal Investigation Department, the CID, the Investigation and Intelligence Branch of Indian State Police. Darji's LinkedIn profile described him as a teacher with 25 years of experience and states that he has a degree in commerce, holds a LLB and runs both the Surat-based cryptocurrency training institute and Navivan, a fitness solution company. There's no mention of Bitconnect on the profile. DGP Ashish Bhatia of the CID said they launched their own Bitconnect coins soon after demonetization. They promoted the company on social media, and by holding gala functions in cities across the world, they lured investors with 60% monthly interest and incentives in the form of referral interest. Although it still has a market cap of over $6 million, Bitconnect will be delisted from the last cryptocurrency exchange still offering it as a trading pair this September, making it a dead coin with no liquidity. The case is connected to the infamous Gurajat cryptocurrency scam, implicating members of the Indian government in a money laundering scheme involving Bitconnect. The others accused by the CID of involvement in Bitconnect promotion, Satish Kumbani, I'm not going to read the rest of the names, but you can see them here, have yet to be arrested. Surat-based builder Shalish Bhatt allegedly kidnapped Indian Bitconnect promoters to recover a major investment he's made in the company, and was himself subsequently kidnapped and robbed over a 1.8 million by a police superintendent and 9 other police force members. So very interesting news there. Google Trends, very interesting source of general trends. I just wanted to quickly show you here. This shows us where in the world Bitcoin is currently popular over the past day. It's interesting to notice, the map is not displaying just right now, but Ghana, Nigeria, Venezuela, South Africa, St. Helena, Netherlands, Singapore, Australia, Austria, Slovenia are the top 10 places where Bitcoin is most popular. Notice that these are a lot of places where the government's central fiat currency is no longer being used or is worth very little. So Bitcoin is already starting to replace those fiat currencies. And that will happen more and more, especially if we enter into a financial collapse. So Bitcoin is definitely a great way to hedge your investments by having something that's not correlated to other currencies. So let's have a look at the technical analysis. This light blue cyan coloured line is Bitcoin shorts. Notice that in April, on the 10th of April, Bitcoin shorts were at a very high level, and the RSI was above, just going above 80. Okay, so now Today we are also seeing shorts being at a high level, even in fact higher than we saw in April, and again the RSI has gone over 80. Now what happened last time when that happened, we did see a big increase in price. In fact, the Bitcoin price went from 6,776 to a peak of around $8,894. That is an increase of 45% that happened in the 26 days following that short squeeze. So can we see something like that again, and what will it look like? Let's get my drawings back on the chart here. And here are some lines that I have drawn on. Now, first of all, we are in a descending channel here where the peaks are lowering. We're seeing lower highs each time, and we are seeing lower lows. So if I can just move this on, drag that on a little bit. So we should stay within this channel for a while. This is quite a strong resistance line, so we're going to need some big momentum to push through that line. But if that short squeeze happens, then this could be what happens based on what happened last time. So if the same repeats again, we could see the Bitcoin price go up to around, well, over 9,200, let's say, approximately. And that could happen in the next few days. However, I do have another scenario for you that would be based on this RSI dropping. However, I'm not sure that it is too likely. It's very hard to say what's going to happen exactly, because we do see this increase in the MACD. So it could be that the price goes up massively, or it could be that the price drops before it goes up. So we could see lower lows. I'll take it off auto mode so I can move that up for you. So what I predicted as an alternative, if the RSI drops, we could see a drop in price, and we could go down to test this line at around about the 5th of December. We could be as low as $5,300 before the price then goes up again, and then hopefully breaks through that line, which could coincide with things like the ETFs. So let me know what you think, please. Let me know in the comments. Give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. If you're brand new to investing and you would like $10 worth of free Bitcoin, which is about £7, click that link in the video description and you can get your bonus free from Coinbase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, it's just a bonus amount of Bitcoin that you can get through my link. So check that out. I've also got links to Bitcoin or crypto mining software in the video description. So check out all that good stuff, as well as a link to my TradingView chart. And also have a look at this video, which I'm sure you will love. Thanks for watching and have a great day. See you again tomorrow with more Bitcoin news. Bye for now.